Oh, damn right, oh It's a dilapidated boat!
Oh, this is a good one.
God, we're back. It's a good minute again.
Yeah! All right.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Big Match Minute. This is the show where me and my trusted colleague break down wrestling matches that we find interesting minute by minute. I'm Diet Coke.
And I'm Lilith, and I'm relieved to hear that I've finally earned your trust.
Yeah, but it took a while.
Yeah.
But I was willing to officially recognize you as my colleague at the start of this podcast, but now you've ascended to the rank of trusted colleague.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. As a colleague, as a friend, I think it's easy to trust me. As a colleague, I think I'm somewhat duplicitous sometimes.
Oh yeah, you've had the best friend title locked down for like a while now.
Yeah.
But trusted colleague was a little harder to earn. How you doing today, Lilith?
I am doing like shit. I have
Yeah.
a really bad cough right now, which I did confirm today is not COVID.
Hey, that's something right there.
Okay, so let me just, at the same time though, it kind of sucks to have a really bad cough but not even be able to say like, oh yeah, like get your merit badge for I got the really bad thing that's going around right now. You know?
Yeah.
It's just the stupid allergies that I get every year.
Because now you're just suffering for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even get the pride.
Yeah, Bono's not gonna sing a song about me.
No, not for this at least.
No.
Maybe for some other reason.
No, when Bono finally gets around to singing his song about stupid bitch disease, then
yeah,
maybe.
Then we'll both have our day.
yeah, finally, our day in the sun.
That he might even as part of as to raise awareness for stupid bitch disease, he might have us in studio with tambourines or something.
Oh, I look forward to that day.
We're talking about the final deletion. Did we say that already?
I don't think we did. I think I got us off on a tangent about whatever. But it's wild that we're farting around this much because...
Yeah, because we finally have a minute with content to talk about.
And I would say beyond that, we have...
Oh yeah, we've got
the most content that we've ever had to talk about in this podcast's history for a single episode, because we made this call oh, next minute we'll watch this 4-hour version of Revenge of the Sith.
We now have, in fact, 260 minutes of content to talk about.
Yeah, and then this minute turned out to be good. So
hey, didn't we just say that we're the poster stupid bitches for stupid bitch disease?
That's true. So
it's our Revenge of the Sith special.
It's a Revenge of the Sith special.
Every wrestling podcast must, at some point or another, have a Revenge of the Sith special.
Hey, we're recording on May the 4th.
That's true.
Which is, of course, special because that is the day that Yoda died.
That's correct. The Star Wars galaxy wasn't operating on the Gregorian calendar, but it is part of our universe, and therefore we can map our dates onto it, and that's that we do know that Yoda passed away on May 4th.
But we should talk about the minute first, because like I said, it's good.
Yeah, it's a juicer, as they say.
It's a juicer. It's exciting. It has nothing to do with the movie that we watched. There's no connective tissue whatsoever.
Not real. I mean, Anakin and Obi-Wan refer to each other as brothers in the film.
That is true. That is true.
They did have a bit of a scuffle.
They did. But let's talk about the original brother scuffle. The scuffle between the Hardy brothers.
Yeah.
So when we left off, Matt was just pelting Jeff with fireworks.
Yeah.
he runs out of fireworks, and we're just kind of looking at a
Smoky ring.
Yeah, smoky
Like,
ring,
like
like a sexy drugs person in a movie.
I was gonna say like I was gonna say like like my asshole after having sex with a robot.
Holy
It's a
shit!
smoky
Okay.
ring. See, the reason why I kept hesitating was because it was like, who should I make? Should I star in this joke, or should I make someone else have had sex with a robot?
I think you made the right editorial decision.
Thank you.
I think that was the right. You got it right. Yeah. Okay. Jesus Christ. Matt Hardy picks up a gardening utensil that I am not familiar with.
Yeah, I'm also unfamiliar with what this device is.
And I haven't seen this thing get used in a wrestling match before, and I assume that's because it looks like something that you would use to behead someone if you successfully made contact with their flesh.
So there's like a flat piece of metal,
Mm-hmm.
and then like a sort of attached to a stick via like a metal U.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can, if the listener can picture that. Is that a blade, the flat piece of metal, or is it just a blunt?
It seems like it would be sharp.
Is that what a hoe I mean, listen, I'm not trying to be funny here. Is that what a hoe looks like in like a modernly constructed hoe?
Oh, you know what? I just Googled, and I think so I Googled hose, and there's like what we would
And then
normally...
a picture of us came up.
Shut up. I do see things that kind of more... There's like what you would normally expect. And then I do see there are things that kind of look like what Matt Hart... So I think that might just be a kind of hoe.
Okay. That was my instinct, but I was not at all sure because I'm not a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at this Seymour Midwest 3-inch high, 16 wide steel hoe, and it does look a lot like the device. Anyway, he grabs a hoe.
Yeah, and he says, "Brother Nero, Brother Nero, it's over."
But before he says it's over, he like frames the hoe so that his head is in the opening.
It's so like, good.
It's kind of cute.
It's so good. And then there's like this violin sting that is like the most like Looney Tunes evil person.
Yeah, truly.
It's so good. Which like I think about 95% of the musical additions to the final deletion are extraneous and should not have been added to it. This
one, parfait, as the French say.
Yeah. This one is a shot through the heart. It's perfect. Yeah. And then he lowers the hoe, and it's just the most perfect. Like it's a shame it had to be bleeped because it's on like TV.
Yeah.
Because like you can kind of hear him drop the character voice for a second to say, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, it's extremely good.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah, this is a good fucking minute.
It's really, really excellent.
And why does he say, "Oh shit, Lily"?
Well, the butt rock kicks back in.
Yeah.
And we cut over to Jeff, and Jeff says, "Damn right, oh shit," which is just a line and a half.
Yeah, "damn right, oh shit" is a great line.
And Jeff has fireworks now.
Yeah, now Jeff has fireworks.
Yes.
It's pretty great. We do the shots of Jeff firing the fireworks, though. Can we talk about those?
Yeah, sure. Please.
They clearly had like 3 seconds of him shooting firework, and he like stopped looking tough half a second into that, and they're just kind of recycling different angles of that shot. So he keeps kind of going back and forth between just looking like he's barely standing up and not. You can see a couple of the camera operators in one of the wide shots.
Yeah.
It's a real classic Final Deletion montage.
Mm-hmm.
Of using the magic of having 3 cheap cameras can really triple the length of your shot. Stretch out that runtime.
Yeah. Really, and you can like really feel that they were like, they were at the fireworks store and they were like, well, how many fireworks tubes are we gonna need? 2. You don't think we should get like an extra one just in case?
Yeah, we need one for Matt, one for Jeff. That's all we need.
A shot doesn't sell or anything like that.
We'll be fine. No. We got 3 cameras. It'll sell on one of the cameras at least.
Absolutely.
Also, what I enjoy about the wide shot is it's very unclear where Matt is because he's just not in the frame.
Yeah. Until, of course, we get a shot that feels completely disconnected from geographically where we were before.
But damn, is it worth it?
It is so worth it because Matt is running away from the fireworks and he yells out, "It's a dilapidated boat!"
It's so fucking good. The read on that line, it clearly being dubbed into, I guess, explain that it's a dilapidated boat. Like we wouldn't recognize like just an old rowboat sitting on the ground.
The fact that he needed to, it's not, I mean, none of the information that was given to us by him saying it's a dilapidated boat was at all necessary. Because,
it's not like we now know where the boat came from or anything.
Yeah. It's not like it being a boat really adds anything. He's just using it as a shield.
Yeah.
It being dilapidated, that doesn't tell us anything.
Yeah, but you know why dilapidated in there is because it's a fun word to say in the Matt Hardy voice.
He does get such a fun word to say. And he hides behind the dilapidated boat, the fucking fireworks. Yet I actually really do like the shots of the fireworks making contact with the dilapidated boat.
They do add a crazy sound. They add a sound effect for the first firework hitting it, which is like way louder and more intimidating than what we know it sounds like because we see and hear all the other little fireballs hitting it.
Yep.
But the first one makes like an explosion noise. God, it's so good. This minute is a masterpiece.
This minute, we needed this one. This is such a big W.
Yeah, we went through such a slog, and it was really like it was like seeing the first sunrise. This is like seeing land after we've been stuck at sea for months.
So speaking of fireworks, let's talk about. I'm mad. I'm mad about Star Wars in a way that is a new and fresh way for me to be mad at Star Wars, because being a Star Wars fan, I'll talk to you about my kind of history with Star Wars. I was a fan of Star Wars when I was a small child. Over my teenage years, I became disillusioned with Star Wars, and I've kind of remained disillusioned despite the fact that it was such a huge part, and really still is, like the stuff that I liked as a kid, apart from really the prequel movies, I have retained fondness for, loyal fans of ours. Only the real ones will know that the original Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 was a big part of my childhood, and you and I experienced a good chunk of that together on stream several months back.
When we could get the game to work.
Hey, it is a 20-year-old game?
Oh yeah, I'm not blaming the game
25.
at all. It's from another era.
Yeah. I'm a pretty big fan of Star Wars, but really over the past 20 years or so, I have just been getting mad at how much almost everything Star Wars kind of sucks. The sequel trilogy, I will say, I didn't like more than I liked.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the whole kind of Disneyfication of it. There's a million different fucking Star Wars things going on, and I'm they're turning it into another cinematic universe. And bored with it. Not a fan.
Yeah.
But then you came along and you said, "Hey, what if
Yeah.
what if I showed you a 4-hour and 20-minute version
Yeah.
of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith?" And
That's correct.
I did not think there was any way that this was going to be good at all.
Yeah, I did somehow get you to agree to that. I was already shocked just that you agreed to watch this with me.
Yeah. I think really the idea that we were gonna do it for the show was the only thing that kind of tipped me over. And I thought I would have a chance to rag on Star Wars on a podcast, which I'll always bite at that bait right there. But god damn it, I liked it. And that pisses me off a lot.
Yeah. It was the shock of a century when we were watching it, and it turned out you liked it, but it made me very happy because I'm a big proponent of this 4-hour 20-minute nice cut of. It's actually 4 hours 19 minutes, but
yeah,
whatever, it's close enough.
Tell us, what are the additions, the changes that this cut makes?
It adds in a number of deleted scenes, mostly from a sort of cut. It cuts out a lot of the I should say the original cut cuts out a lot of the politics from Revenge of the Sith, and this adds it back in, which you may think, hey, that sounds boring and not cool, but you need it to have context for the dang story, George.
It's welcome. It's welcome because all of it is, Padme and a few other senators laying the seeds for what would become the Rebel Alliance.
Exactly. Yeah. We get to see a lot more of Bail Organa. We get to see some Mon Mothma as well in those scenes. Padme actually has something to do in the film.
Yes, other than be pregnant and die.
Yep. We also get a couple new scenes of Anakin and the Chancellor, which kind of it sets the stage for Anakin's like paranoia about the Jedi a lot better, I would say. And then a chunk of the added runtime, the biggest chunk, comes from the 7th season of the Star Wars Clone Wars show, where we see Ahsoka Tano and a battalion of clones, half of the 501st, dealing with Order 66 basically, and fighting Darth Maul. It adds that into the film to sort of to give a broader scope of the events of Order 66 and the end of the Clone Wars, and it works really, really well.
That C plot really does add so much to the movie.
Yeah,
it's so
well. It's good. It's good on its own, which is a big help.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna go into this thinking oh well, how could they fix? They obviously they can't fix fucking everything. Those of you who aren't fucking Star Wars weirdos like my unfortunate co-host, you're not gonna go into this and be like, oh my god, they fucking deep faked over Hayden Christensen's performance and turned him into not a super weirdo.
Point of order, I respect Hayden Christensen's performance. I think it's very good.
First of all, I know. I mean,
that was for the audience. I know you know.
Well, I said you're a Star Wars weirdo, so
that's true.
There are things about it that make sense, and they make more sense given the full context of the movie. That is weirdly, it does kind of put the missing pieces that kind of make some of his weirdness make more sense.
Yeah. If you're a Maul head, definitely check this out. This is
God, yes.
the Darth Maul stuff in it is. I mean, if listeners, if you've seen this cut, I don't I don't know that I would assume anyone has, but if you've seen season 7 of the Clone Wars, you've seen there's a little bit of the 2D Clone Wars is also thrown into this edit.
Yeah, which fucking rules.
Yeah, it's I really love not just the Darth Maul is in it, but what they do with Maul. I should say he's not Darth Maul at this point. I chastise people in the film for dead naming Maul.
Yeah, because he is no longer a Sith Lord.
It's true. Well, he does call himself Lord Maul, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's a lot of he's
the Lord of Mandalore.
Landowners from Scotland aren't also all Sith.
That's actually, I didn't mean to. I have a theory. I'm not gonna say racist things about the Scots right now.
Thank
all
God.
English lords are Sith.
Oh God. Oh, my eye just started itching in the worst way.
I'm so
I really
sorry.
hate allergies so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I also am having, not as bad as Lily, but I also am having some allergy problems that have manifested in just like something in my throat. That happened about 10 minutes into recording, so sorry for me coughing. We're both so sickly.
Yeah, we're sickly little bitches.
That's right.
So go watch this. We can't link the Star Wars cut that we're talking about in any kind of public forum.
Hey, but you know what? You know who? This is just totally apropos of nothing, but
yeah.
I remember the episode of Seinfeld where Steven Tobolowsky was on, and he played a character named Tor. And I also like to remember my favorite creatures in the Lord of the Rings, the Ents. So I don't know if you just think about those characters, think about Tor, Ents, maybe look around for a site you can go to, and then just think of the fact that this is called Star Wars Episode 3: The Siege of Mandalore cut, and you'll be able to find it.
That is the because that C plot. I don't think we actually did mention that is like that C plot with Ahsoka Tano and the 501st. Like they are invading Mandalore.
Yeah, Maul has taken over Mandalore.
Right.
People who have watched the Clone Wars show will recall that from I think season 5 that happened.
Well, I'm talking to all of our listeners who have had sex before, so.
Okay. I'll have you know that I have had lots of sex with people who also know this much about Star Wars. Actually, I think I can only claim that my current girlfriend knows this much about Star Wars. I don't think that's true of anyone else that I've had sex with.
Yeah, go watch that. I don't know. Is there anything more detailed you want to go into about that?
I think I just if you're on the fence about watching this, I just really think about how big of a deal it is that Lilith said she liked this, because I truly cannot understate the shock I felt when I discovered that. The pleasant shock, but pure surprise.
I had to be sold on really liking The Last Jedi, honestly. So much is my disdain for Star Wars, really anything released after the original trilogy. And this really did turn me around. Now, I will say, right after we finished watching it, I did go and I thought, maybe all this added context and all that kind of stuff will convince me that that maybe the prequels were going somewhere, and I tried to watch The Phantom Menace and I got fucking 20 minutes into it and it's still a piece of shit.
I disagree with that. I think The Phantom Menace is a great film. I was just watching a scene from it before we started recording.
Of course you were. Of course you fucking were. Which one was it? The one where fucking Sebulba jacks off in the pod racer combat?
It was just cockpit? The opening, actually. I've been getting into the world of Star Wars fan edits, as you can tell, I suppose, from this. Mm-hmm. I was just checking out, just scoping out a Phantom Menace edit that I downloaded recently.
And it's one where they add in more scenes where the cool Jedi are sitting around and talking about trade disputes. And,
I do have one like that, but that's not
local
what this one was.
politics.
I do legitimately have one that is like that. Yes, I do have a fan edit like that, but that's not the one I was watching.
If hey, you know what we haven't said to people on this podcast
What's that?
in a little while?
What's that?
If you, first of all, if you would like to follow us for updates and stuff like that, you can go to twitter.com/bigmatchpod. But also, we're a member of a podcast network
That's true.
called the Noise Space Network. If you like Star Wars, there's a podcast that I believe. Oh wait, yeah, no, it is on the Noise Space. Okay, if you like Star Wars, there's a podcast on the Noise Space Network called "And Also with You," where every year on May 4th they review 1 minute of Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
That's fun.
Which, yeah. So they'll be wrapping that one up in like 120 years.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna have to learn some. They're gonna have to hook up with Dark Plagueis if they want to see that podcast all the way through.
And I'm sure that they will.
Yeah.
I feel like getting that deep into Star Wars. They may in fact do that. So go wish my friends Nikki and Mace good luck on their horrible little journey over there. There's plenty of other good podcasts on the Noise Space Network anyway. Noisespace.xyz is where you can check out all of that. You can find more information about Big Match
or
over there.
Noisespace.xyz if you live in a Commonwealth country.
Well, you know, it is a
it's a Canadian network.
Yeah, I mean Matt's Canadian, so
from my understanding, and I could be wrong. This is from my ex who is Canadian. She said that they tend to mix it up over there in Canada. Sometimes they say Z, sometimes Z.
Oh, well, good for them. My ex, who is Canadian, and I have not discussed the subject, but hey, Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Much like our relationships with Canadians, all things must come to an end.
Yeah.
And podcasts are kind of like that in some ways. Do you think that you have a good idea for like a snappy way that we could finish off this podcast? Like a funny little pithy phrase, anything like that?
Nah.